This is our town, the place we call home.
Welcome to This Is Our Town with Jeff Yorkie, a local public affairs presentation on MonroeCountyRadio.com.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of This Is Our Town. I am Jeff Yorkie, and hey, we got a repeat guest on the show, John Allen. Welcome back.
Hello. Yes.
Man, it is like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago that you were on.
Something. You guys must like me.
Yeah. Well, of course we like you. We love you. So you guys. So this is John Allen from the new Allen Chevrolet. I've noticed the
Cadillac.
Yeah, Chevrolet Cadillac. I always forget that. So I noticed you guys still don't have the new signs though.
No, not yet.
Still working on that?
Yeah, still working on it. It's red tape.
Red tape?
Yeah, all the bureaucratic stuff.
It looked like yellow tape to me.
Yeah, yellow tape. Yeah,
yellow tape up on the buildings. So now the last time that you were on, we talked about how you got the dealership back. You'd been involved. It was Stanford Allen, blah 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 blah, and then eventually you got it back. That's all really cool. And then I said next time you come on, we're going to talk about cars.
Correct.
So let's talk about some cars because last time you were here. Yeah, I was drooling over the blue Corvette that you guys have.
That's a nice one.
It is a really nice one. 6.2 liter, 327 cubic inches of just pure power, and a supercharger. It's got how many horsepower does that thing have?
Over 650 or something. I mean, they just high numbers.
Is that the same motor that you guys have in that Camaro SS that you got out there?
No. No, it's
not the same horse. It's because it's not supercharged, but it's the same size engine.
Yeah, it'd be the same size engine, and then they supercharge, and it's amazing what they can do with just changing pulleys and belts and switching them around, and all of a sudden, because they had to detune them, and they're like, well, if you just switch these pulleys around, and it adds like 75 horsepower, and you're like, what?
Yeah. I know. I love those engineers. Anything to give us more horsepower.
Correct.
It's crazy. I was listening to a podcast with Richard Rawlings. He's the guy that owns the Gas Monkey Garage, and he was talking about some of the horsepower that they can put in these cars nowadays. And he did some build for some guy, put some motor in there with some ridiculous. It had over 700 horsepower in it, and the guy brought it back the next day, and he says, "I don't want it. Take it back." He says, "I'm going to kill myself in this thing." Because there are so many. I mean, it's just amazing what they can do with the motor, the power in these cars nowadays. These muscle cars and the sports cars. It's ludicrous. I mean, it's potentially dangerous, isn't it?
Oh, they're not. It's not practical. It's unsafe. So, So I got engaged to my wife in 2016 in April.
Right.
That June, I bought myself a new Corvette because I realized I either need to do it now or wait a while.
Yeah.
So I pulled the trigger on it, and people were, well, why didn't you get the Z06? And I go, well, drive this one, and you realize it's more than enough horsepower.
Yeah.
And driving at 50% of its ability, and you're just like, yeah, this will get you in trouble really quick.
Yeah. So do you still have that car?
No, I got rid of it. You can't put a baby in the backseat apparently.
Know.
Well, not legally, at least.
So we're walking out of here. For those of you who listened to the last show that John was on, we're walking out of here. I said, "So what are you driving?" And we walked down Washington Street, and there he is in the conservative SUV. What are you driving?
Well,
is it a Traverse?
It's a Suburban. I need it because we're moving. Because we're moving right now, so I need a lot of room, and we're expecting a second child in September. So we need. I need the room. It's amazing how much stuff babies need.
Do you ever just drive that Corvette home just for fun?
You know what?
I don't know how. Yeah, go ahead. Do you?
You know what? The business sense of me won't.
Yeah.
Because if you're spending that kind of money, you really don't want some other person driving your car.
Right. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. That would be the hardest part about owning a dealership, is some of those incredibly cool cars that you guys have out on the lot, and not wanting to just jump in it and just driving around even for fun. I know they're crazy dangerous and completely impractical, but you got to admit they're incredibly fun too.
They are. You have to wait for it to come in on trade.
Yeah.
When it comes in on trade,
then you get it right.
Then we get to take it, and we took it. It was a really nice 2018 Corvette. Grand Sport, gorgeous, and it only had 1,000 miles on it. The guy wanted the 19 because of some little minor difference. Bought the twin car, and we were talking about. I was like, man, I would like to take it this weekend. I planned on it for that Friday. It sold. And I was like,
I wondered because now you had another one that's because last time you were on the show, I was telling you how much I love Corvettes, absolutely love Corvettes, and you said, but the $80,000 one you got in the lot, the blue one, whatever that is, I don't know how much. How much is that thing? It's a crazy amount of money.
Yeah,
for,
I think
for a government worker employee like me, right?
Yeah, I think it might be 6 digits on that one.
Yeah. We're not going anywhere near that one. But you said you had one that was coming in.
Correct.
Is it gone already?
No, it's in service right now. So.
Oh yeah, okay. That's why I didn't see it on the site.
Yeah. So all our vehicles get a full, safety inspection, make sure they're good to go, and we have a little bit of a backlog.
Yeah.
We've been selling a lot of cars, so.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a good. We try to get them in and out. The goal is 3 to 5 days, and it's coming on like 15 right now. So we got a little work to do.
Do you dig the old classic cars, like the old Corvettes and stuff like that? I know you don't. I know you're not dealing in those things, but I mean, as far as being a car aficionado, does that kind of stuff turn you on?
I appreciate it.
Right.
It's I appreciate all how it set the standard for everything.
Yeah.
I appreciate the aspect of it. I appreciate the aesthetics of it, and I appreciate the history of it. I understand. I grew up around it.
Yeah.
I was never one to I want to go back there and work on it and what's everything, but just being around it. And I mean, the engineering feat alone, even from the very basic vehicles from all the way back then, how can you not appreciate it?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I'm one of them geeks. I'll sit for 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon when the weather sucks, and I'll watch the Barrett Jackson or the Mecum Auto auctions. I'll just watch, and what I like to do is I like to tape them and then tape them. I'm dating myself. I like to record them and then I go through. I love the C3 Corvettes, the ones in the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I just love those Corvettes.
The old school Stingray. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, some people hate those cars. They think those cars that was when Corvettes screwed everything up. I disagree, but that's because I was born in '66, so that was my wheelhouse of cool cars.
That was on your bedroom wall.
Yeah,
that poster.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, you can pick those up for an average one for under $10,000.
I know, and they're still in decent shape, and some of them have less than 50,000 miles on them.
Correct.
Yeah, because people babied those things.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have the greatest horsepower either.
No, I know, not the 350s. If you got the 427, you got a little bit more horsepower.
Yeah.
But, and it sounded cool. And you put some aftermarket exhaust on them, and man, there you go.
Well, as long as you're not trying to drag race it, you're good to go. But
no.
I don't know if I drag race one of those today. Yeah.
No.
Do you know a good attorney if you get in trouble? Or
I know a couple.
Oh, okay, good.
I can help you out. Don't worry. You're good to go. So, hey, the other reason we wanted you on the show today is that you are going to you come right back into town and bam, you help out the community immediately. And let's talk about the 4th of July. I think there's going to be a big Allen Chevrolet Cadillac presence at the 4th of July this year. Tell everybody about that.
Yes. So like a lot of people, and there was probably tens of thousands of people who saw the article saying that there was going to be no fireworks. And in Monroe, no fireworks in Monroe.
Yeah.
I mean, how America pride, blue collar is Monroe.
Exactly.
Not to have fireworks. I mean, celebrate this great country by blowing a piece of it up, right? And
exactly.
Yeah. So not to have that. So we saw it, and I wanted to do something, and ended up donating a lot more money than I thought we would have to. But it was just the right thing to do. And
so they needed X number of dollars.
Correct.
And so John Allen comes along and he says, hey, how about X plus? And let's make it an even better show. Right?
We needed it to be a great show. I asked, how much do you need? And it was less than what we donated. And I go, well, how's the quality of the show going to be? And they're like, it'll be a show. I'm like, well, no. Like, will it be a good show? And they're like, it'll be a show. I was like, well, we need to make this a good show. So how much do you need to make it a good show? And $14,000 came out. And I was like, well, let's do it then. let's make it a great show, and let's everybody enjoy it and have some fun, and happy 4th of July.
That's right. And hey, if anybody else is interested and out there in the business community, jump on board, right?
Yes, let's really make this a great event. I mean, it's 100-year, but I think that's been some of the backlash on it is it hasn't been up to the standard everybody wants. So this is the opportunity to make it this great show. And a lot of people are like, well, I don't have thousands to give. It's amazing what 500 will do.
Right.
1,000.
Right.
1,500.
Yeah.
200. I mean, if we just get a bunch of people and if we can generate an extra 5, 6, 7,000,
right,
and we're putting over a $20,000 show together, that's really going to draw some attention. That's really just going to expand Monroe. Great for the community and really make it a staple that not only is Monroe a great town, but they put on a great show.
Yeah. And if you're a business owner and you want that exposure, what a perfect place and time to do that. Because we were talking before the show, everybody in Monroe County comes to that show.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know anybody in this entire community that hasn't seen this show at least once or twice in their lifetime since they've been here. And other places, Dundee's got a parade 4th of July.
Correct.
Ida's got their Christmas parade.
Correct.
Well, the fireworks. This is the fireworks, and it's got to be a great show. And everybody knows, hey, if you come, you're going to be here a while, and that means that if you're a business, you want some exposure. Perfect place to do it.
Yes, it is, and this would be the perfect time because that's what we do in Monroe. When somebody needs help, we help out. And the fireworks definitely need some help, and it's obviously there will be a benefit to it. So let's get to work and let's make it a great show.
All right, sounds good. Now, finally, last thing I wanted to talk to you about. In June, Monroe County Radio is going to cover, as we do every year, the high school football all-star game. We've been doing this for years now, and I understand that I might have somebody new in the booth with me this year.
Yes, that would be.
Who would that be?
That would be me.
That would be you? All right. Well, let's consider this your interview, shall we? You're gonna be the color guy, right?
Yes. Do I want to pass this interview? This is the decision. Do I want to pass or fail this interview right now?
I don't know. We'll see. So when's the last time you saw a high school football game? It's been a while.
It's been a while. The last high school football game I saw was Monroe High versus Ann Arbor Pioneer in Ann Arbor. I was working in Ann Arbor at the time, and Monroe was playing. I was like, what, it'd be cool to go see it. I actually grabbed my old varsity jacket, and I was like, well, it was only real Monroe gear that I still had.
Yeah.
So I went there, and Monroe put up a good fight, but Ann Arbor had some really, really great players who went on to do special things way above high school. So
yeah.
But it was still a good game, and it was fun, and it was interesting. It was nice to root on all these young players who knew they weren't going to do anything great above it, but still had a lot of fun.
I tell you, it is a lot of blast. It's a lot of fun doing it. It's a blast doing it. The watching these kids, and for most of these kids, for the vast majority of them, this will be the last organized football game that they'll ever play. And so for them, they're going to leave it all out on the field. They do all the time. They enjoy it. They're playing with that real passion. It's a lot of fun, and it really gives you. For you, if you decide maybe this fall, maybe we have you up in the booth for a few more games if you're so inclined. But you really get a good feel for it, and it's a lot of fun. So tell me, let's do the interview part of this.
Okay.
Now. All right. So how much football do you watch? Outside of high school, obviously not a lot of high school football recently, but how much football do you typically watch?
Well, I enjoy the Wolverines.
Big Wolverines fan? Okay.
Yes.
Well, you lived in Ann Arbor for a while.
And you know what? I am a Lions fan.
Okay.
And
I'll let that go.
I understand that. And I enjoy football. I didn't play in high school. I played soccer. I played college soccer, and it wasn't until a little bit later in my life that I started watching more football and really enjoying it and realizing how I enjoy the aspect of it, how much goes into just getting a person open.
Yeah.
So the
The
quarterback
strategy and
correct.
right,
So the quarterback can miss him, or you can drop the football.
yeah. Well, you're always going to see a little bit about that, but that's true. But you know what? What's fun, and this is the one thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to understand offensive formations and defensive formations, 4-3, 4-4. Defensively, you're going to have to, and around here, you really need to understand the power T formation because there are so many. Monroe runs, or not Monroe, but CC runs a power T. Ida runs a power T. Dundee runs a power T. And it's a double tight end. Everybody says, oh, it's boring and conservative and everything else. But Ida has scored more points than any other team in the county, save maybe Whiteford, who runs what they call a single T or a single wing, excuse me. But they run these relatively conservative type of offenses where they hand the ball off a lot, but they're so effective and so efficient that they score tons and tons of points. Between Whiteford and Ida offensively, both schools are in the top 10 in the whole state in points scored over the last 5 or 10 years. It's just incredible what they've been able to do with what people call a conservative offense. And I always tease them. You hear the naysayers. They talk about, oh man, they're going to run that boring Bauer T, just hand the ball off up the middle, off tackle, up the middle. And then I tell them, you'd really love that spread offense. But in that spread offense, every team I know that runs a spread, they don't score 200 points a year. But these teams that are running these power formations in high school, they're scoring 500, 600 points a year. Whiteford, crazy. You'll get to see some of the Whiteford kids in June. Just amazing what they're able to do. And talking about the programs and watching the programs, it's a blast. It's a blast to watch because they run the same stuff over and over, years and years and years, and they start when they're little kids, and they're just phenomenal at it. And it's a wonderful thing to watch. You're really going to enjoy it.
They understand the nuances of it.
Yeah.
But I imagine how many of those points are scored in the second half?
Well, you know what? Surprisingly, with a team like Whiteford, not as many.
Really?
Man,
you think the defense would be all worn down?
Well, they are, but the second half is when you're a team like Whiteford, they're beating the snot out of everybody by 50 points at halftime, and they're putting it, and then so the second and third strings get into the game. And that's why year after year, perennially, they're one of the better teams because those guys are getting a ton of experience and they're getting into the rotation. They're running those plays. Whereas, a lot of times a team has a really good year and they're loaded with seniors and they, they may have an 8-2 or 8-3 season, something like that. But they have a lot more close games next year. They've got a bunch of juniors that are moving up. And those guys haven't had a lot of playing time.
No, it's all about depth.
Yeah, it's all about depth, and some of the teams that we have in the county really, really good at it. CC perennially pretty good team. They've struggled a little bit over the past few years. Ida's been a very good team the last few years, and certainly Whiteford. Milan has their ups and downs, but they're a lot of fun. They've had a lot of big recruits that have gone to Big Ten schools, or a handful anyway. I know they got one kid that is playing in Wisconsin right now.
Really?
So yeah. So really a great little community and some really great football programs. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
No, it's even though I played soccer, I realized that football was definitely the sport of choice.
Yeah.
And
sometimes when you're a certain size, your soccer chooses you, right?
Yes. Well, the Allens are not known for their size. And a whopping, I think I graduated high school at 5'7", 135 pounds. So I was not what you call football size.
Right.
At least American football size.
Right. Exactly. But it's still fun to watch. And that's the thing. You'll really enjoy it. And you're going to see things that are so much different than what you see on the college level or in the certainly in the pro level. Pro level is just those guys are just crazy athletes. But at the high school level, what's really fun about it is the fans, the parents, and the students, and it's just raw. And if we go out to Whiteford, now this game's going to be in Dundee. The one that we do in June is going to be in Dundee. which is a great facility, great stadium. They've done a really nice job there, really built up a nice fan base. That was a program that was really on the verge of collapse until Coach McElvaney got there. You're going to see that's a really great venue for a football game. But we go to places like Whiteford or Ida. They're kind of out there in the middle of nowhere. And Whiteford in particular, it's like nestled in the woods. Beautiful place, great venues, great places. Ida's Monroe is a great county for football. You're gonna really enjoy this.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and it looks like I got a little bit of homework to do.
Yeah,
but I'm not afraid of that. I'm definitely obviously not afraid of work. I didn't get to where I was. I'm 35 years old, and was general manager of 2 dealerships, and well, now we're able to get this one. So, not afraid of work. So, I'd be willing to put it in. It'd be interesting, especially seeing the different offenses and defenses.
Yeah, we'll put in some film study, John.
Sounds good.
It'll be fun.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, that's all the time we have for This Is Our Town. John Allen, thanks again for coming in. We'll see you soon.
Yes. Glad to be back. Thanks for having me. And I'll see you
in
soon.
June.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll see you sooner. We got homework to do.
Correct.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. That's all the time we have. We'll see you next week.
Join us every Sunday at noon and Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another edition of This Is Our Town with Jeff Yorkie, a local public affairs presentation of MonroeCountyRadio.com.
This is our town, the place we call home.